Hi everyone, I'm Simone and I developed the WEMoS project with Bianca and Tommaso. WEMoS is the acronym of Wearable Emotion Monitoring System, and as you can notice from the name, the central core of WEMoS are emotions. Effectively, in addition to profoundly influence our behavior, emotions are a powerful means of communication for all those internalized feelings that cannot be expressed verbally or that are even unconscious. Since mood alteration strongly affects the normal emotional process, emotion recognition is also an ambitious objective in the field of mood disorder psychopathologies. Mood or affective disorders can be classified into three main categories: anxiety disorders, depressive disorders, or bipolar disorders. Several health studies report that anxiety is the most common, affecting 511 million people in the world. 350 million people are affected by depression, more women are affected than men, and finally, bipolarity affects about 60 million people worldwide. Currently, when people start to recognize symptoms of a possible psychological illness, usually they take an appointment with a psychologist or a psychiatrist, who will do a qualitative analysis trying to find the possible causes and remedies of the illness. After that, through psychotherapy sessions and/or the use of antidepressant medication, they try to cure the patient. But with WEMoS, this will change. The core of this project is a wearable network of sensors that will detect in real time emotions from the monitoring and analysis of physiological parameters of the patient, such as ECG, electrocardiogram, GSR, galvanic skin response, and body temperature. We then elaborate those data in order to identify the mood of the user and if he can have some pathologies. The goal of WEMoS is to perceive in people basic emotion, knowing better those feelings and sensations that usually remain hidden because personal or even unconscious and unexpressible. So potential disturbs can be detected and cared before they manifest more serious in the future. Data can also be used by psychologists in order to find more information about their patient and elaborate a better diagnosis. Moreover, WEMoS is also composed additionally by a set of lights and speakers that will change lights, colors, and sound of an environment, inducing a better emotional state thanks to data collected. The processing flow of WEMoS is divided into three phases: the acquisition phase, the signal analysis phase, and emotion detection. Going deeply in the acquisition phase, we have three kinds of sensors. The ECG sensor and the GSR sensor are connected to the pink shield, while the temperature sensor is connected to a P mode. At the beginning, both the ECG and the GSR were too noisy, so we applied some filters. More precisely, we applied a 50 Hz notch filter to the ECG and a low-pass filter at 5 Hz for the GSR. After that, we had the emotion detection phase. We applied two types of analysis. First, a statistical analysis, then a spectral analysis. Through the statistical analysis, we evaluate the ECG standard deviation, root mean square and variance, and the GSR mean, while with the spectral analysis, we did a spectral density estimate of the ERR series in order to evaluate both LF and HF, which are low frequencies and high frequencies value. Then we used all those data in order to give a good input to our KNN classifier. For what concerns statistical analysis, we applied some standard functions gave us from Python libraries. For spectral analysis, we use an algorithm based on the autoregressive model of Yule Walker, and with this we evaluated LF and HF. LF increases as arousal increases and it is related to the sympathetic nervous system, while HF, in the opposite, decreases as arousal increases and it is linked to the parasympathetic nervous system. Once we have all the data, we put them in the table in order to use KNN to predict the emotion. To increase accuracy value, we added the relationship between the values obtained in the emotional session and those obtained in a neutral session in order to have a normalization of the values. Finally, we have a good result of 50% of accuracy with a baseline of 25% because we wanted to predict 4 different types of emotion. We think that our results are very good, but we also know that we have to do a lot of work in order to improve our accuracy. More precisely, we need to find one or more features that can give us information also related to the valence and not only to the arousal. Then we can add some different ways to do spectral analysis, such as short-time fast Fourier transform and a continuous wavelet transform. And finally, one of the most important things, we have to do more tests and retrieve a lot of data in order to build a more accurate classifier. And that's all. Thanks for your attention, and we are very proud to have taken part to the Xilinx Open Hardware 2017.